Have you ever looked up at the stars and wondered, where did we come from? It's a question that has fascinated us for thousands of years. The story of humanity isn't just a chapter in a history book. It's a grand, sweeping epic that stretches back billions of years. We didn't just suddenly appear on this planet. Our story is woven into the very fabric of life itself. A journey of survival, change, and incredible transformation. So, let's travel back in time. Not just a few centuries, but to the very dawn of life, and uncover the incredible story of us. Our journey begins in a world you wouldn't even recognize. Imagine an Earth over 3.5 billion years ago. The air is different. The continents are not where they are today, and the planet is dominated by vast, primordial oceans. It's here, in this ancient aquatic world, that the first spark of life ignited. We're not talking about animals or plants, but something far simpler, single-celled organisms. Tiny specks of life, drifting in the water. For billions of years, these were the only inhabitants of our planet. They were incredibly resilient, surviving immense geological changes, and shaping the very atmosphere we breathe today. This was the silent, patient beginning of everything. Slowly, over eons, something remarkable began to happen. These simple cells started to work together, forming more complex structures. They evolved, adapted, and diversified. Fast forward to about 600 million years ago, and the oceans were teeming with the first true animals. These were strange and wonderful creatures, unlike anything alive today. This period, known as the Cambrian explosion, was a burst of evolutionary creativity. Life was experimenting, trying out new body plans, new ways of moving, seeing, and surviving. From these early pioneers, the first vertebrates emerged, animals with backbones. One of these groups would eventually make a monumental leap. They crawled out of the water and took their first breaths of air, becoming the first amphibians, and later, reptiles. The world was no longer just an aquatic realm. Life had conquered the land. Then, a catastrophe struck. A massive asteroid impact wiped out the dinosaurs, changing the course of life on Earth forever. But in the shadows of these giants, a new kind of animal had been quietly surviving. Small, furry creatures we call mammals. Our distant ancestors. With the dinosaurs gone, the world opened up. Mammals seized the opportunity, diversifying into an incredible array of forms. They filled every corner of the globe, from the deepest oceans to the highest mountains. Among them was a special group that took to the trees. The primates. Living in the branches, they developed grasping hands, forward-facing eyes for judging distances, and larger, more complex brains. They were smart, social, and incredibly adaptable. This was the lineage that would eventually lead to us. About 7 million years ago, in the vast savannas of Africa, a new chapter began. The climate was changing, forests were shrinking, and some of these tree-dwelling primates were forced to spend more time on the ground. This was a dangerous new world, filled with predators. Survival demanded a new strategy, and so, one of the most significant events in our entire history occurred. Our ancestors stood up. They began to walk on two legs. This act of walking upright, called bipedalism, was a gift. It freed up their hands. Suddenly, hands weren't just for climbing or walking anymore. They could be used to carry food, to hold babies, and, most importantly, to make and use tools. Walking upright also allowed them to see further over the tall grass, spotting both danger and opportunity. It was a risky adaptation, but it paid off spectacularly. With hands free to interact with the world in new ways, another incredible transformation began. Our brains started to grow. Making a simple stone tool isn't as easy as it sounds. It requires planning, precision, and an understanding of cause and effect. As early humans like Homo habilis, the handyman, began to craft tools, they were also crafting new neural pathways in their brains. A feedback loop was created. Smarter brains made better tools, and using those tools stimulated even greater brain development. Our ancestors were no longer just reacting to their environment. They were actively shaping it. This growing intelligence gave them an unprecedented edge. Then came another monumental discovery, one that would change humanity forever. Fire. At first, they probably harvested it from natural sources like lightning strikes. But eventually, early humans like Homo erectus learned to create and control it. Fire was a revolution. It provided warmth, allowing them to survive in colder climates and expand out of Africa. It offered protection, keeping nocturnal predators at bay, and it transformed their diet. Cooking food made it easier to digest and unlocked more nutrients, which in turn fueled the continuing growth of their energy-hungry brains. Fire also became a social centerpiece. Around the crackling flames, our ancestors gathered, shared food, and perhaps even shared stories, laying the foundation for culture and community. For hundreds of thousands of years, several different human species coexisted on Earth. There were the Neanderthals in Europe and Asia, the Denisovans in Siberia, and others we are still discovering. It was a world of many human types, each adapted to their own environment. But then, around 300,000 years ago, in Africa, a new species emerged. Homo sapiens, us modern humans. We weren't necessarily stronger or bigger than the others, but we had something special. Perhaps it was our capacity for symbolic thought, a sophisticated language, or our unparalleled ability to cooperate in large groups. Whatever the reason, as Homo sapiens spread out from Africa, they thrived. They outcompeted, and in some cases interbred with other human species, until eventually, we were the only ones left. From a small group of hunter-gatherers in Africa, we went on to populate every single continent on Earth. We crossed deserts, sailed oceans, and survived ice ages. We learned to farm, built cities, and created art, music, and science. We looked up at the moon and decided to go there. The journey from a single cell in an ancient ocean to a species capable of contemplating its own origins is the most incredible story of all. It's a story of chance, of struggle, and of an unbreakable will to survive and adapt. So, when you look in the mirror, remember that you are not just you. You are the culmination of a 4-billion-year-old legacy. You carry the history of the stars, the oceans, and every living thing that came before you. We are not separate from nature. We are its most curious and creative expression. Our story is still being written, and the next chapter is up to us. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through time. If you found this story as amazing as I do, consider subscribing for more explorations into our wonderful world. Thanks for watching.